Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast. We cover everything Major League, from spring training to the World Series. We've got your favorite club covered, from New York to Boston to LA. This is the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Jeff Malinoff, and with me, as always, is Mark Souza. We got an exciting show on hand. We're going to talk about fixing free agency. Mark has an idea that he's going to say out, and we're going to...
I will fix free agency in Major League Baseball.
Supposedly...
And Jeff will, too.
How?
Never mind. Jeff can't fix anything. So I will do it.
Have fun with the show by yourself, then.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the latest on Harper, Machado. Any other ideas that MLB can do to liven up the offseason? We'll talk about some recent acquisitions. A.J. Pollock, Greg Holland, San Francisco Giants signing a pitcher. And we'll break down next year's Hall of Fame class. We just got done talking about this last Hall of Fame class.
You still haven't apologized to me.
About what?
You said something very rude to me.
What did I say?
I can't fix anything. That's not true.
It was a joke.
Yeah, well, I just still would like an apology.
Sorry you're offended.
Okay.
That wasn't an apology.
Yeah, I heard I'm sorry, so it works.
All right. So we'll talk about next year's Hall of Fame class. Some new players that will be on the ballot for the first time. We'll talk about their chances of getting in on first ballot and also just getting in general. I think that'll be a good discussion as we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 10 new players that will be on the next year's ballot. So, also we'll talk about a player who next year will be his final year on the ballot. Don't think he'll be in, but I'm wondering why that is. And then our last thing we'll talk about is Nolan Arenado has a relative who is also in the Rockies organization. He actually might make their MLB roster. We'll talk about him later on. So, Jeff, can you give us the latest on the Harper and Machado watch? What is the latest that you have seen? What are the teams, I guess, still in it? Is there any news or updates that the people should know regarding this whole, what do you call this?
Watch?
Yeah.
Honestly, there is little to no action at all.
Yeah.
But you want to hear the biggest news is supposedly, or there is a picture by by Harper's back company. I don't even know the name of it.
It's his back company?
His sponsorship back company. And it's
what's it called?
I have no idea.
Gotcha.
I can look that up, but I don't think they even released a name, to be honest with you. Anyways, they showed Bryce Harper themed bats with the Phillies color on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Gotcha. So it's like, so now what the speculation is that he's signing with the Phillies and that this bat company knows and they're getting his bats ready. Is that kind of what the speculation is now?
Yes. The bat company is called Victus. Never even heard of them. Have you heard of them?
No.
Well, they've made two. On social media, there's two bats. One that it's red and blue, and then it's the powder blue, and then there's an all powder blue bat. So basically, there's their secondary colors, and it says like some Philly stuff on it. I think it has Harper's name on it. You want to hear the kicker?
I do.
The sources from the bat company say the bats were made a week and a half ago as of January 28th and were not made as a special order. They were made just in case this happens. That is the biggest news coming from free agency right now.
There were rumors of him signing in Philadelphia yesterday that were floating around on the interwebs. There was a tweet, and it was by let's see. There was a tweet showing a picture of what it looks like ESPN prepping to announce Harper to the Phillies, like with Harper and the Phillies logo and with the text Bryce Harper to the Phillies. That was verified as false. Also, Vegas Gambling Steam, which is some random Twitter handle, put out a confirmed report that Harper has agreed to a multi-year mega contract with the Phillies. Source says deal was wrapped up pending medicals. Vegas has taken all Bryce Harper prop bets off the board. That was also verifiably false. So, will he go to the Phillies? I don't know, but apparently that's the rumor right now. And it sounds like, I don't know if people are just trying to get their name out there or, you know, make some noise that way. But yes, we've seen that kind of, I don't know, what do you call this, conspiracy talk heat up in the last 24 hours?
Is it even a conspiracy?
Do you know that there's only there's 12 days until spring training begins. 12 days, Jeff.
And
we're less than 2
nothing's
weeks.
happened. Legitimately.
What about Machado? Is there any news on Machado other than we kind of know there's news on Harper, and that's everybody thinks he's going to the Phillies based on some, stuff, some quote unquote information.
I've heard nothing from Machado's side. It could be legit. There's a mystery bidder. Apparently, the Padres are maybe the mystery bidder. It's very unknown at this moment.
Yeah, we did hear that that was kind of a silly report.
Like,
don't you think the Padres one was silly because it said the Padres won't rule out their interest? Like, everybody's interested. Don't you hate stuff like that? When you say like, oh, well, this team didn't flat out deny that they don't want this player, so they must have some interest, right?
yeah.
Like, just because you don't flat out deny that you're going to, I don't know, Red Lobster for lunch doesn't mean that you're actively trying to get people together to go to Red Lobster for lunch, right? Like,
Excellent point.
that's just what those reports tell me. It's like, is this reporter
It's like,
bored?
I have a crush on a certain like celebrity, but you don't see me wanting like admitting like I want to date them. It's obvious.
Like if I told you if you asked me what are you doing after this show, and I said, well, I need to go put gas in my car, and you're like, well, are you going to go to the Shell? And I said, maybe. Well, he didn't deny that he's going to Shell to put gas in his car.
There's 100 other gas stations. There's a 76 that's down the street from us. That's $3 a gallon.
Yeah,
That's super cheap, by the way.
So I think I have the solution to solve Major League Baseball's problem. And yes, me and you, okay, let's ask this question first. Mm-hmm. Me and you talk about this, how Major League Baseball has a problem with their free agency and their offseason because it's really boring. There's not a lot of action, and compared to the other major sports, it seems to take a step back. Do you think other people feel this way, or do you think we're just, because maybe we're so involved in sports and know more than just baseball, that it's just our problem? Or do you think that most baseball fans kind of feel like this?
Oh, 100% baseball fans.
You
feel
think
like this.
so?
There's not enough action. It's like watching a baseball game. I love watching baseball. Sometimes there's a lull.
Didn't we talk about before that an idea we had was shortening the offseason? Like, not the time the players have off, but like only make free agency like a 2-week window or something. Like something where like where fans would know that there had to be action within a certain time period so they could kind of gear up.
I would even give them 3 weeks.
Kind of like how the NFL has the draft, which is really exciting for NFL fans. So, like, they
MLB
know...
has the draft, too, but it's not as exciting.
Right. MLB doesn't have it, and it's during the season. Like, it doesn't...
I actually saw a video of the draft. They have dugouts, like imaginary dugouts where kids get drafted out of. I thought it was kind of cool.
God.
I thought it was...
That's funny. Okay, so maybe we've talked about that idea, but I have an idea, Jeff. I have an idea. You ready for it? You got to follow with me.
Okay.
You got to follow along with me. All right? Imagine if Machado and Harper were approached by, I don't know, MLB Network, ESPN, CBS, GSMC Podcast Network.
What's that?
Some
I just got
random
fired,
place.
didn't I?
Imagine for a minute that Machado and Harper were approached by one of these networks, and they decided to have a program dedicated to meeting with these players, with these two men in question, sitting down, talking to them about their futures. And then at the end of the program, they chose their destination. Have you heard of something like this before?
No, that sounds kind of unusual. Is that the right word?
So you've never heard of a program where a star athlete chose a team after, I don't know, narrowing it down to a few and then receiving so much backlash for it that
He backs out.
No, not backs out. Do you remember a similar program in a different sport that happened like this? Do you remember an athlete in any sport deciding his next destination, free agent destination, on a TV show dedicated to this?
I have. The Decision.
Yes, The Decision. And who was the athlete?
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
I think LeBron James is a little more popular than Bryce Harper, though.
Absolutely.
No disrespect to Bryce Harper. No disrespect.
No one will argue that at all.
I think it's more along the lines of just social.
Sure. Mm-hmm. But if, like, I'm not saying it has to be on ESPN like LeBron James' decision was, but what about like on MLB Network? What if they're like, hey, February the 4th, the day after the Super Bowl, or February, you know what they should do? They should have done this the night before the Super Bowl, Saturday night. That would have been perfect. Because, you know, people are gearing up for the Super Bowl. They're already probably at home.
I guess. Yeah.
You have The Decision by Harper and Machado. You could do it back to back. You could do it simultaneously.
I feel like you should wait until after, though.
Okay. So maybe we disagree on the timing, but what do you think about the idea?
I like the idea.
Like, we can work out the details, but what do you think of, would that liven up baseball? Would that make you, as a sports fan, would you be like, hey, Harper's Decision is tonight at 7 p.m. I'm watching it.
But the thing is, I would be excited, but would the majority of the fan base be excited? That's the ultimate
I think baseball
question.
fans would be into it, right?
Because wasn't like Bronze one of the most viewed things?
It was very popular.
I don't think it's going to be as viewed.
It won't. I'm not saying it will be the same.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm not even saying it'll register the same sort of response because we all know that LeBron got killed for it.
For us,
LeBron got killed for it.
Yeah. Well,
but you know what? We later found out.
He's still alive, by the way.
We later found out that there was a lot of money that LeBron generated from that went to good causes, right? So it's another chance for Major League Baseball to do something cool.
Be in the good light. I see what
Yeah,
you're
like,
saying.
hey, we're going to give all this money to the Boys and Girls Club of America or to Little League Baseball leagues across the country. You know what I mean, right? Mm-hmm. It gives them a chance. It gives Major League Baseball a chance to promote their star. It gives them a chance to be the good guy, be the organization, and, you know, like, do something heartwarming. Give back to the community.
But should Machado and Harper have different shows?
See, it does bring up an interesting concept because when LeBron did it, it was just LeBron.
But Machado and Harper are the same level.
Exactly. Now we're talking about two guys.
But all right, if you're running ESPN, they say, okay, we're doing this decision thing. We can either do two shows, one Machado, one Harper, on separate primetime slots, or we have them both on the same primetime slot, sitting next to each other. What are you going to do?
Well, yeah. That would be interesting. It also would be interesting.
Make the choice.
It would also be interesting if they chose the same team.
Oh, my God.
Those fans would be hyped.
Oh, the other fans would be so
Can you imagine
pissed.
if you're the Phillies and Harper picked up the Phillies hat and then Machado picked up the Phillies hat? But, like, it would be cool because, okay, so here's the thing about LeBron.
Okay.
You remember The Decision, right? Like, at least
I remember.
You
like
remember
yesterday.
like a lot of it, okay?
I just went, okay.
But we knew going into it that he narrowed it down to 3 teams. Like, we knew that.
What was the third team?
It was the Heat, it was the Cavaliers, and it was was it the Knicks? Or was it?
Was it?
There was a third team because there was 3.
I think they were a distant third.
Well, now that we look at it, yes. But there were 3 destinations, okay?
I don't remember the third, to be honest.
Regardless, though, we knew it was down to 3. The problem is, for Harper Machado, we hear that there's like 15 teams that are in on each, right?
Let's be honest, all teams are in.
But wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if maybe at the beginning of the show they started with 10 and they just like eliminated them, like process of elimination,
like a bracket,
like The Bachelor?
Okay,
it's like
yes,
like this.
I'm on board with this.
Like this hat gets a rose, you know? And, like, these
No,
hats
no, no.
don't
They
get a
pick a
rose.
hat to stay on the table or get thrown away in a trash can. Boom.
Perfect.
Money. You're welcome, ESPN.
And then, like, they can make some silly remark, like if it's...
Make a pun about the team.
Let's say if St. Louis Cardinals is one of the hats and they're like, and Harper, like, knocks it into the trash. It's like, no nightlife. Not interested. You know, like, not enough money for
Oh,
this
explain
team.
why you're not
like,
choosing
he just
them?
says, like,
oh, I like
their
that.
offer was too low. Goodbye, you know?
That would be a real... That's also being a jerk, a huge jerk in that sense.
Right.
But it would bring great television.
Oh, my God, it'd be great.
It's not going to happen, though.
If it was
is
a
it?
Bachelor-esque.
That's why I'm so sad right now, because I know it's never going to happen.
That's true.
I'm sorry, it's never going. Unless we buy out ESPN and run our own shows and pay Harper and Machado tons of money to do this.
Well, that's my idea. What do you think?
But the thing is, that's like, and then after that, what is left for the offseason?
Well, you know what? What will be left of the offseason after these two guys sign now? I feel like it's dragging along, and I don't know how. Like,
do you think they're intentionally dragging along, or they honestly not know where they want to go?
I honestly think they have no incentive. Like for them, what would be their reasoning for picking right now, or have already picked? What would their like reasoning be?
They got offered a contract they just couldn't refuse.
Right, but if some team offers them, let's just say $300 million is the number.
Mm-hmm.
I already know that I have an offer on the table. I don't have to jump on it. It's not going to go away.
You know what I would do, honestly? I don't know if you're allowed to legally, but I would say, like, this team offered me a lot of money. I better post it online and see if anyone could offer me more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, make your own auction, almost. Like, you can tell other teams how much they're offering. They can try to extend that, make it worth more. But I don't know if that's legal or not.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's interesting, though, man. All right, let's predict. When will Machado and Harper sign? There's 12 days before spring training.
The day before spring training.
JD Martinez didn't sign until spring training last year. The day before?
I'm going to go day before, or they're not even going to participate in spring training and do it afterwards. It's not going to be in the middle of spring training.
It's almost, well, it basically is February.
We have 2
Super
more
Bowl
days.
is this weekend. Like that was signals in my head that it's February. You know what I mean? Like it's always the first weekend of February. So
it's
always
only been like that for a little bit, though.
It's been like that for at least 10 years, though, right?
Yeah,
like
but
the first.
That's a pretty
weekend.
short time in all things considered.
Right, but that's just like the marker in my head. You know,
Mm-hmm.
some people might say Valentine's Day. Some people might say a president's birthday. I don't know. For me, it's
Like who?
First week of February is always Super Bowl. Like when I look at a calendar and I'm planning out my year, first week in February, I know. What shouldn't calendars just say that Super Bowl on that day?
Yeah. Honest, it's a
Says
national.
New Year's.
It's a national holiday.
It's the most called off day of work.
It's a national holiday.
It is the most called off day of work in the United States, which is hilarious.
I can't express enough. It's a national holiday.
Should
That's
be.
based. It is based. It is. No, it is. It should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the World Series was one game, maybe it'd get as popular as it. Have it in like do it Super Bowl esque, but I don't know. It's the biggest viewed sporting event in the world.
Except until Machado Harper decision.
If that even happens.
Maybe they do it at halftime of the Super Bowl.
Maybe they decide to take a break from baseball for a year.
What about halftime of the Super Bowl? Take some attention to MLB.
Instead of Maroon 5, you put them down in the middle of the field.
Or does Major League Baseball have a commercial during Super Bowl of the decision?
You know how much money that would cost to get a commercial that long?
Yeah, but it would be how many? You know why that's so much money? Those advertise so much money because so many damn people are watching, right?
True.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's just so many people are watching the show.
Can you just say, hey, on ESPN2, we're going to show the decision? Instead of paying all that money just to get a commercial.
Yeah. Anyways, What do you say we go to a break? After the break, what we'll talk about is a few signings in baseball that actually have happened, including the Dodgers acquiring an outfielder, the San Francisco Giants acquiring a starting pitcher, the D-backs also making a splash. And then later on in the show, we'll discuss the Hall of Fame class of next year. Like we mentioned previously, we have 10 new players that will have their first chance to make the Hall of Fame. Probably not too many, if any, will be first ballot Hall of Famers, but we'll break those players down who might. So anything you'd like to add before we go to a break?
Yes, I would, because when investing and planning for your retirement, it's always best to get advice from the experts. Best-selling author Harry Dent, America's #1 economist, says the dark window is open. There's an opportunity to rapidly boost your retirement savings before the greatest stock market crash in American history. But this dark window won't be open for long. You can make up to 10 times the annual average stock market gain in just a few short months. Find out more by going to www.harrydentforecast.com, and there is a very short time to take advantage of this dark window. So go to www.harrydentforecast.com to learn more.
This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
Welcome back, everyone, to the GSMC Baseball Podcast. Just finished talking about Machado and Harper still not signing with anyone. Now we're moving on to people that have actually gotten signed. So who have gotten signed, Mark?
A.J. Pollock signed with the Dodgers.
Dodgers spending money. Never seen that before.
Well, they may or may not land Harper. We know that they're interested, but
I don't think they're landing Harper, to be honest with you.
But A.J. Pollock gives them a little bit of flexibility. Not a bad signing for a team that just traded Puig and Kemp. A.J. Pollock can slide into the starting lineup.
Do you? I know. I think we talked about this, but do you agree with Puig's the trade? Do you think it was the right move in the long run?
Yeah,
I get
do.
Kemp because he's up there in age, but Puig is still pretty young.
Puig is young, but he's not as even keeled as I would prefer for my baseball team, just because his ups and downs.
Okay,
they're well documented, right? Like, we know. What do you think? Did you like that move?
Usually, he was like the face of him and Kershaw were like the two faces of the franchise. That's why I was a little shocked by it. And
was that like a good thing though? Like, did the Dodgers really want Puig to be the face of their franchise?
I don't know. I thought he was doing just fine and even improving in his game. And
they have like Seager, Turner, Bellinger.
I just have a gut feeling they might regret this in the long run.
Maybe. I feel bad for him because he has to go to Cincinnati.
He has to play for a very bad Reds team,
and he has to live in Cincinnati compared to LA.
We shouldn't make fun of. We shouldn't mock cities that might be listening. We love you, Cincinnati.
It's just, where would you rather live? I mean, maybe some people would prefer Cincinnati over Los Angeles, but how many
I would prefer to live in Nashville, Tennessee, but that's just me.
Well, Puig won't be. He'll be living in Cincinnati, Ohio.
I think that's where I'll be living in like a year from now, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Long story. I won't get into it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It is a booming place. I do know somebody, a friend of mine, who recently moved there about 6 months ago. People.
My brother lives down there.
People go there for vacation.
Oh, it's amazing.
They do bachelor parties there.
Bachelorette parties is the main one.
You're going there for the bachelorette parties?
No, I've been there to visit my brother and my beautiful niece and my sister-in-law, and we walk downtown around, and even during the day, there's girls in the those big trucks in the back with the whether wearing the veil or whatever it's called.
Gotcha.
And they're all going, wow! And it's like, that's all you hear. So how was your time? Woo! That's the only language they speak, apparently.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So
never got invited to one, though.
Nashville.
I don't know why.
You think Nashville, do they have a team? They have a AAA team.
They have a Nashville Sounds.
AAA?
Which I love that name, by the way.
Is it for the A's?
It
is, right?
I believe so. The A's used to have the Sacramento River Cats, but now that's the Giants, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Nashville is their AAA one now.
I will make sure.
Okay. So A.J. Pollock signs a 4-year contract with a 5th-year option. It could be around $60 million.
They're they're oddly in the Pacific Coast League, but they're in the East.
Yeah.
So, their affiliates are the Rangers.
Rangers, okay.
They were the A's this year, but now as
They
of
switched?
this from 2019, they are now the Rangers affiliate.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, A.J. Pollock, he's a right-handed bat. The Dodgers, the last few years, I think they've been a little bit more left-handed heavy. Now, I know Kemp and Puig are right-handed hitters, but A.J. Pollock does, I guess, supplant some of that right-handed hitting. He could be an everyday fielder for them. What's your opinion on A.J. Pollock? Do you think he's a good player?
Oh, I think he has a lot of potential. He's a great player, no question about it. He can bring a lot to the table, but I think there's still work to be done. Like, just around him, just the team in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he's, like, that kind of knockout, like, we won the offseason type of guy. I think he's just a good quality player that could bring a lot to the table.
Yeah. So, you're looking at a guy who's a consistent player. He definitely makes good contact on the ball, too. And I think that's important because the Dodgers still have Jock Peterson. And Jock Peterson, he doesn't make enough contact for me. What do you think about that? Like, he's a good player. He's got power.
He's a swing and a miss, no pun intended.
Yeah.
I get it.
Paul gets the bat on the ball a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, I'm actually looking at affiliates still. You want to hear the greatest affiliate name I've ever seen? They are the Marlins.
Is it like the Mud Hens or something?
The New Orleans Baby Cakes.
What about the Albuquerque Isotopes? That's a good one,
Is that triple
too.
or double?
I think it's triple.
I will look.
Because I think it's the Dodgers AAA.
There is an El Paso Chihuahuas.
That's good.
That's a good one.
Albuquerque Isotopes is a solid name.
Dude, I also love the minor league jerseys because sometimes they go all out for those, like
the
Ninja
Baby
Turtles.
Cakes?
Yeah, I love that. But no, there's some people that just do like Ninja Turtles night or something like that, and they have Ninja Turtle jerseys and stuff like that, which I think is super cool. There's the Montgomery Biscuits, a AA affiliate to the Rays.
Are they sponsored by like Popeyes?
I hope so.
Or Red Lobster's got Cheddar Bay biscuits. Now that's twice I've said Red Lobster in this podcast.
That's not good.
People are going to start raising their eyebrows.
Or we might get a Red Lobster sponsor.
Yeah, hopefully.
There's a team called the Northwest Arkansas Neutrals.
What?
Yeah.
Northwest Arkansas Neutrals?
Yeah, say that 3 times fast.
So it's NWA?
NWAN.
Yeah. NWA. All
right. You said the Mud Hens? That was a team? Yeah, Toledo Mud Hens.
Yeah,
Detroit.
Toledo
They
Mud
are a
Hens.
AAA team. Let's see what if I can
find out Albuquerque Isotopes, so. Find out what they're all about.
I'll find Albuquerque Isotopes.
I believe they're in the AAA because I believe they play against the River Cats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost positive.
The
Reno Aces are in that league, too.
The Reno Aces are in that league. There's also the Albuquerque Isotopes. Yep, they're the Colorado Rockies affiliate.
Okay, so they're the Rockies affiliate. My bad. I said the Dodgers. So I think the Reno Aces are the Dodgers.
You want to hear the Dodgers' hilarious one?
Yeah.
The Oklahoma City Dodgers.
Is that AA or triple?
That's AAA.
Interesting. So
I hate when they just use the same name.
Who's Reno then?
Reno Aces.
Yeah, but
Arizona.
Arizona?
They're in the Isn't there a Las Vegas 51s team, or is that no longer a team?
There used to be.
I love that name. They had an alien as their mascot or as the logo. I love that.
Minor League Baseball
is great. When it comes to
has
team
the
names,
best names.
oh yeah. Okay. Okay, hold on. A single A advanced roster for the Mariners, the Modesto Nuts.
Oh yeah, that's my team. That's my home team.
I'm sorry, that is amazing.
Hassan Minaj.
Okay.
You know the comedian Hassan Minaj from Davis, California? He has a whole spiel about the Modesto Nuts. About how
they're the
logo is...
Testicles?
Yes, basically.
Wait, is it actually?
Yes.
Oh my god, I gotta look up this. Hold on.
You know that the Nuts...
Can I tell... Wait, I gotta tell you what.
I have a story for you. The Nuts...
Okay.
That was voted by the community.
I love you, Modesto.
They had like 4 team names. I can't remember them all, but it was okay. So Modesto used to be the affiliate of the Oakland A's. That's why it was the Modesto A's forever.
Got it.
Forever and ever. I remember going as a kid. I watched Miguel Tejada play there. I watched AJ Hinch play there. Tim Hudson play there, amongst others. But then their affiliation ran out. Colorado Rockies came in. Troy Tulowitzki also played there when the switch came over. And they obviously needed to change the name because they can't be the Modesto A's and be the Rockies affiliate. So they asked, and there was like a bunch of agriculture names. It was like, I think like there's names about like, because nuts like almonds. Like almonds is a big...
I got it.
Almonds is a big crop down in that area. So...
I knew it actually didn't mean what we think.
Yeah. I don't remember all the team names, but the people voted. Like, there was 4 choices, and it was voted upon, and Nuts won.
I love you guys so much. Thank you. You just made my day.
Mm-hmm. Modesto Nuts, man.
Oh, I gotta look up the logo, but first I need to read the Tennessee Smokies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was because of the bear.
Yeah?
Stop forest fires.
Is it, or is it because of barbecue? I don't know.
Maybe. Hartford Yard Goats.
The Yard Goats?
Another Rockies affiliate, the AA.
What does that mascot look like?
That's a great question. I gotta...
You want to know something about the Modesto Nuts, real quick?
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 mascots. Al, is it almond or almond?
It's a goat. It's the North Carolina Tar Heel looking goat with a baseball bat in its mouth.
So, interesting. So the Modesto Nuts 3 mascots: Al, the almond; Wally, the walnut; and Shelly, the pistachio.
Never change minor league teams. Oh my God, there's a Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp team.
The Jumbo Shrimps?
They're named after food. That's just a food.
I'm hungry.
Now I'm really hungry too. Okay, I might have found the best
Maybe
one.
they're sponsored by Red Lobster.
Hold the phone. The Birmingham Rumble Ponies.
Birmingham?
Birminghampton. Binghamton? I can't pronounce their
or Binghamton? Wait.
Maybe. It's a AA Mets
affiliate.
Binghamton.
Rumble what?
Rumble Ponies.
Ponies?
Ponies, as in the horse.
Like a horse? Yeah.
Rumble Ponies, though.
What's the difference between a rumble pony and a regular pony?
One wants to fight you.
One's a wrestler. Ha
Could be. Honestly, there are so many different names when it comes to wrestler names that would not surprise me.
Well, that's
wait, there's Amarillo Sod Poodles.
The Sod?
Poodles.
Huh.
Where are you thinking of these names, people?
Mm-hmm.
This is the same team that's affiliated like the Padres, the El Paso Chihuahuas. And then this, okay, you want to hear the most lazy one? The Cardinals' AAA affiliate is the Redbirds. Like, that's not even trying.
That's what a Cardinal is.
I know, but that's not even trying to be different, though. You know?
Yeah.
All of their team names, all their AA, single A, and AAA teams are all just Cardinals or Redbirds.
Mm-hmm.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. Anyways, we should probably go to a
I'm
break.
so happy right now. You have no idea.
We should go to break, but when we come back, we'll talk about next year's Hall of Fame class. Again, we'll talk about the new players that will be up for...
Oh, wait, can I stop real quick?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I found the Modesto Nuts logo. He's right. It does look kind of
veiny.
Let's go with that word, sure.
All right, so when investing and planning for your retirement, it's always best to get advice from the experts. Best-selling author Harry Dent, America's #1 economist, says the dark window is open. There's an opportunity to rapidly boost your retirement savings before the greatest stock market crash in American history, but this dark window won't be open for long. You could make 10 times the annual average stock market gain in just a few short months, according to the research of renowned Harvard economist Harry Dent, though. This window could slam shut later this year, and nobody on Wall Street is expecting it. This dark window is something bigger by far than anything he's predicted up to this point, and you can make 10 times the annual average stock market gain. Find out more by going to www.harrydentforecast.com. There is a very short time to take advantage of this dark window, so go to www.harrydentforecast.com to learn more.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be, visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back, everyone, to the GSMC Baseball Podcast. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyways, we just finished having a little discussion about the greatest minor league team names I've ever heard, and team names in general that I've ever heard. So what's next on the agenda?
Next year's Hall of Fame class.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start off with the person who has, in my opinion, the best chance of being... This person has the best chance of being the next Mariano Rivera. I don't think it'll happen necessarily, but it does need to be talked about. Now, it's Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter, he's really the only lock, I would say, of all these players to be on next year's ballot. These are the players upcoming that
how
are
he's doing.
eligible.
How he's doing with the Marlins. I wouldn't be surprised if they let him out or leave him off because of that.
Yeah. So. All these players, I'm not saying they will be on the ballot. I'm not even saying they'll be voted into the Hall of Fame, but these are the players that will now be eligible who will be in consideration.
Okay.
So, Derek Jeter, is he a first ballot 100% vote getter?
I would say he's going to be at least 95%.
You think so?
Yeah. I can see some people saying no.
Do you think he's just a tad overrated?
I would say like his statistics don't match up to the legacy, but it's more the legacy than the statistics sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And the moments he has.
He has 3,400 hits, 1,900 runs scored, 5 World Series wins, and he's a 14-time All-Star.
3,400 hits?
Yeah, 3,465.
Didn't he get his 3,000 hits at the end of his career?
I don't know, but
at the last season?
He's got 3,465.
Okay. Maybe it was the year before he retired.
All right. So chances of him making the Hall of Fame are definitely 100%. Chances of him making it on the first try.
I would say 100% as well.
Really? You think he's a slam dunk? He's getting in. He's next Mariano Rivera.
But I'm not saying it's going to be unanimous.
Then he won't be, right? Oh wait, you just have to get 85%. Is that right? 85. Okay, so you think he'll get over 85, but not 100%. So
yeah, I would say 95.
Gotcha. Okay,
that's a good guess.
That works for me. I think that he will be a first ballot. How about Cliff Lee? Phillies pitcher.
I remember him.
2008 AL Cy Young Award, 2.55 postseason ERA.
That's a tough. I'm going to say he gets in the Hall of Fame, but not in the first try.
Okay, so eventually. Okay, how about Bobby Abreu?
I don't.
400 stolen bases.
Yeah, but what has he? That's a tough one. I mean, I love Bobby Abreu. He's been a great player throughout his career, but Hall of Fame level with that strict committee that votes in and out, it might be a little more difficult for him. I'm going to say his third or fourth try. Because he'll get in eventually. But I'm not saying first ballot.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking up his numbers here. His average, you want to hear his 162-game average?
Sure.
He averaged 19 home runs this season, 91 RBIs, 27 stolen bases, 99 walks, struck out 123 times. Let's see, his batting average, 291.
Okay, under 300 is going to hurt him.
Slugging 475. His OPS is 870. It's pretty good. He does have a lot of stolen bases as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be close.
I'll say he'll get in, but not first try. I still stand by that.
How about Jason Giambi?
Ooh,
AL MVP.
He's only eligible now?
400. Yeah, he retired officially in 2014.
Oh.
440 homers, 5-time All-Star.
That is an
Jason.
incredibly tough one. I'm going to say yes, but not first ballot.
No, I don't think any of these guys are going to be first ballot, right?
No.
Other than Jeter.
Yeah. I think Giambi will get in, but not first ballot.
These are Giambi's 162-game average over the course of his 20
Promote the
career.
website, too, as of who's doing these.
Oh, this is Baseball Reference.
Okay.
So this is all official. 32 homers and 103 RBIs is what he averaged every year. He averaged 98 walks and 113 strikeouts. He had a 277 average, but he slugged 516. His OPS is 916. So definitely more of a power hitter than Bobby Abreu. Walked about the same amount as he struck out, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for the next one?
Sure. Hit me.
Josh
Ow.
Beckett.
Oh, that's actually challenging.
I feel like this is just very tough for you. Every single one.
Well, they're all good. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. But are they Hall of Fame good? That's the question.
That is what I'm considering here.
Beckett had a 13-year career, 138 wins, 106 losses, a 3.88 ERA.
Won some World Series, too. Wait, wasn't he the lead? Wasn't he the pitcher for the Marlins when they won the World Series against the Yankees?
Yes.
I'm going to say he gets in second time.
He played for the Dodgers, Boston, of course, the Marlins. He won 2 World Series, 3-time All-Star, and a World Series MVP. It's pretty good, man.
I'm going to say he gets in.
Usually a World Series MVP, 2-time World Series winner, 3-time All-Star. All-Star's number's kind of low, though,
Only
huh?
3-time All-Star
Yeah, that's
going to
hurt him.
Concerning, yes. But I don't think he'll get in on the first try, but he will get in like the others.
I think the next person that I'm about to tell you is the most interesting person on this list.
Okay.
I think we're gonna get a wide range of opinions on him. Eric Chavez.
It sounds like you have some thoughts on him
Played
more
from
than I do.
98 to 2014. Let's see, his 162 game average, 26 homers, 90 RBIs, batting average of 268, slugging 475, his OPS 818. Now,
He played mainly for the A's, right?
He did, but here's the thing. He has 6 Gold Gloves.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of his numbers, you can't just look at him from an offensive point of view.
He was a defensive guy.
He was a Silver Slugger Award winner once and a 6-time Gold Glove winner. But that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically his career.
I'm not saying he gets in.
It's going to be extremely difficult for him to get in. I just say that because I wonder how much they're going to value his defensive prowess.
I don't think it's a 6-time Gold Glove in over a 10-year career. I'm going to say no.
How about Adam Dunn?
This one's interesting. Power hitter to die till he dies.
I saw him one time. I'm going to tell you an anecdote right here. Personal anecdote. This dude in San Francisco hit a baseball that I've never seen somebody hit a ball further or harder in my entire life. He hit it into McCovey Cove.
Mm-hmm.
In right field, into the water, splash.
Yeah, he has some of the longest home runs in history.
And I was sitting on the wall. I was sitting on the right field wall. You know the big wall in San Francisco? That thing went way over it went way over the foul pole. It was so high. I remember looking up, Jeff, looking literally up and watching it sail over my head. And then when my neck couldn't go backwards any further, I turned around and the ball was still traveling and I saw it hit the water. And I was like, are you effing kidding me? I had never seen a ball hit that
So you were
hard.
impressed?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I remember the buzz that it created when he hit it. I remember, after it hit the water, everyone just being like, whoa. Because no one was cheering because he's on the other team. But it was like, did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow. That was insane. Adam Dunn, though. Let's go back to him.
Was it when we were just talking about
He's a 2-time All-Star. No, let's go back to his numbers, though. 2-time All-Star. A man who struck out about 200 times a year. He went over 200 just once, but he was very close a number of times. His average is 193. He
has a 193 batting average?
No, his average amount of strikeouts a year.
Oh.
He was definitely in the 170s, 180s, 190s a bunch of times in strikeouts. The guy did hit 462 home runs, 1,168 RBIs. He actually stole 63 bases, which is weird to think about. He walked 1,300 times. It was probably because of a wild
pitch.
So his batting average was 237. His slugging was 490. What do you say about Adam Dunn? He's purely a power hitter, not a contact hitter, not a defensive player. You're literally going off of pure power numbers if you put him in. His 162-game average, again, 37 homers, 95 RBIs, 27 doubles, and a triple. What do you say?
No.
Not getting in.
Not getting in.
How about Rafael Furcal?
Not a Fritz ballot either.
Is he getting in, though?
I was saying is one of his final tries. He might squeeze in, an Edgar Martinez type.
He was Rookie of the Year, World Series, 3-time All-Star.
See, the low All-Star numbers, it's what's concerning me.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 3 times. I'll say he gets in his 6th, 7th try.
I don't know if he gets in. I don't think he does.
I'll say if he gets in, it's going to be an Edgar Martinez thing.
Possibly. All right. We got a couple more here. Paul Konerko. 6-time All-Star, 440 homers.
He has over 400 homers. He's getting in. But not this year.
But Adam Dunn had over 400, too.
But, touche. But I have a feeling that this is just... Adam Dunn is just a different whole... His work ethic was very lackluster. He never ran to the bases, usually. Okay. He usually hardly ever ran in general.
I got one more for you.
Okay.
Alfonso Soriano.
He's getting in.
7-time All-Star, 412 homers. He had a 40-40 season.
He's getting in.
100%?
100%.
First ballot?
Nah.
Nah.
Not first ballot, but he will get in. Don't you agree he'll get in?
Yeah, he'll get in.
I don't think even second try he'll get in. I think he'll get 85% his second try.
He averaged 34 homers, 95 RBIs. He
It's a
averaged
pretty fantastic season.
41 walks a year. Let's see. Stolen bases. He's at 24 a season.
That's impressive.
Yeah. He like I said, he had a 40-40 season.
Yeah. And how many have done that's a very
4-time Silver Slugger, All-Star MVP, 7-time All-Star.
Yeah, he's getting in.
I agree with that. So this next year is Larry Walker's final year on the ballot. I feel like he's a Hall of Famer. Maybe that's just nostalgia talking, but I feel like he was a Hall of Fame caliber player.
You know, if it's one of those things, if he gets in, that'd be cool. But if he doesn't, it's understandable. You know, it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever happens, happens. It's not going to lead to outrage or anything. It's going to be like, however it happens, he gets in or not. They're going to.
He only got 34% this year.
Well, it seems like he's not going to get in. But the baseball fans will go, "Oh, okay, that's fine." They won't take it to heart or anything.
So Josh Fuentes might be the Rockies' best third base replacement behind Nolan Arenado. Fun fact for you, Jeff. Josh Fuentes is the cousin of Nolan Arenado. He was a undrafted player from Missouri Baptist. He was the Pacific Coast League MVP last year. He's just climbed his way into the minor leagues, and he may make the roster for the Rockies this season. How cool of a story is that?
That is a very cool story, especially undrafted.
And Nolan Arenado has an uncertain future at the Rockies. He's looking for a new contract. He might be on his way out. How interesting would it be if he ends up replacing Nolan Arenado, his cousin? It
would be funny, like in that way, like, oh, how funny that is, like you're taking the job of your cousin, like, you know, that kind of feeling. And also, it's one of those. It's the fact of the matter is, coming undrafted is such a challenge in baseball, probably the hardest challenge of any sport when you're trying to go up into the pros. And if he's done it, he's damn well learned it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It says something about his desire, you know, being a player that was undrafted. And we're talking about Major League Baseball. When you're undrafted, that means how many rounds are there in the draft?
1, 2,
There's a ton.
4.
So when you go undrafted in baseball, like, that means a lot of players got picked over you. Like, it's not like football or like basketball. Even basketball, there's like 60
there's
players.
There's 2 rounds.
Yeah, basketball there's 60 players. Football there's
7.
200 people get drafted.
255 last time I checked.
250, something like that. But baseball, you're talking about
hundreds,
thousands, right?
Yeah,
25. If there's 25 rounds and there's 30 some odd teams,
I will look up the actual numbers.
It's a lot. It says something about his determination.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's still going up. I mean, he was a PCL MVP last year. You can say what you want about that, but he's still a young player. He's 25 years old. Like, he's going in the right direction. Anyways, is that our show? I think that's our show.
Yeah, let me just look at this.
All right,
quick.
hurry up.
Economic impact, blah blah blah.
What are you looking up again?
The draft and what the order.
How many rounds?
Yeah. There's also contemporary picks. There's let's see if I can find this here.
40 rounds.
Oh, you got it? Why wasn't it showing me?
That's a lot.
That is a ton. First rounds, there was 43 first-round selections in total.
Interesting.
There's over 1,200. There's 1,001 that last year in 2018. There was 1,214 players selected in 40 rounds.
Interesting. All right. Well, join us next week as maybe next week we'll have a big free agent signing. Maybe there'll be one.
We are going to pray to the baseball gods that happens.
All right.
As always, I'm Jeff Malinoff. That's Mark Souza. We'll see you next week. Have a good day, everybody.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Baseball Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.